Oh, it's strange how things happen, isn't it? Said that record player over there, takes me back to when I was a kid. And so does this thing. This is a Toshiba PC G10 cassette deck, made around 1979-1980, and sold by Seaboard as part of a Toshiba stacking system, a very popular alternative to the Music Centre in the 80s and 70s, and indeed on into the 90s, before everybody had those MP3 players and all this sort of stuff. Now, my parents were looking for a music centre originally, but they saw this in the Seaboard shop, and it came with a matching amplifier and tuner and cassette deck, and it was record player, and it was all in a big black ash cabinet with a glass door on the front and a glass lid on the top, with a pair of speakers actually made by Goodman's rather than Toshiba, which makes sense when you think of it, because speakers are boxes of air and it doesn't make sense to ship them all the way from Japan halfway around the world to here, does it? This unit is, by the way, a genuine made in Japan job, Hello Tosh, got a Toshiba sort of touch. Got your power on switch there, the cassette door obviously. Controls are, how shall I say, servo assisted rather than piano key type. Dolby switch, normal chrome metal tape positions, rather nice flickery 1980s LED level indicator display, record light, lights up red when recording, Dolby green when that's on, and then moving to the end, recording balance, recording level, left and right mics, and a headphone output. When this was assembled with its matching components, the tuner had a knob like this on it, this size, and so did the amp. This isn't my parents' one, it came off the dustbins, this did. My dad's still got that, and he says it's getting a bit crackly now, so I suspect he'll probably bring it all down here next time he comes and get me to look at it, spray the switches with service oil and all that sort of thing. Now on the back, simplicity itself, line in, line out, and RCA plugs. There's your model number. You may not be able to see, but it says Toshiba like it used to in the very old days there. They used to have it on there in the 70s, a sort of script written version of Toshiba. Now this is made to only run on the 240 volt system we have in this country, so I can't vouch for whether they made them for abroad. When I got this, it did need a couple of little jobs doing. Although it would power up and everything, and it did play, the sound was, to be frank, pretty dire. When I looked down inside the cassette compartment, you could see why. The playhead in it was not only badly worn, but covered in ferric oxide dust, so it hadn't got a hope. When I tried rewind or fast forward, I found that was very slow and lethargic. So I thought, well, probably a belt, let's take the top off. And there's two belts in there to do with the actual motive power, if you like. A flat one that does the flywheel, which is a fairly hefty affair, about so big. And then there's a square section one that does the rewind and fast forward. And it's not a tiny little thing like the old Philips ones were, but it was hopelessly slack. Now, to get at it, it was no problem at all. It's very easy to work on. There's a lot of space in there, although it's all beautifully put together. Undoing 4 screws allows you to take the whole mechanism out, and of course I could change the head. I had to line the head up with the mechanism out of the set because there isn't anywhere here to put a screwdriver in. On most cassettes you'll find there's a little hole, often very discreetly placed where you can hardly see it, but on this one, no, there wasn't. The belt too was a doddle to change. It was on the surface of the mechanism really, and the thing just, well, it looks as if it was designed to be repaired, like a lot of stuff was then. So those two jobs done, powered it up, and I found that it works perfectly. So who's kidding who? But I suppose it's all very well me saying that, but if you don't know somebody that can fix this sort of stuff, well, then stuff is the word, you know, as in you're stuffed. Oh, there we are. I must get an amplifier fitted up because I've got a Teleton one I was given not long ago. And then there's the old JVC, which is way too powerful for those big old Akai speakers I've got. So that's out really. And there's another one, a Sanyo as well. So yeah, I think we'll have a go at doing that and get something going. So there you are, you can see it's quite happily ticking away. The LED display, I remember that was rather mesmerising as a kid. And our cat used to like it, stare at it for hours, flickering, you know. Oh dear. The reason they got such a good piece of kit was that Mum wanted to record herself doing piano music, and she was actually a qualified concert pianist, but never really did much. That was the sad thing about that. I've got a few recordings, but not many. But this machine, or this type, used to record her beautifully, as did the Philips reel-to-reel we had, and my N2400 cassette, that used to do it nicely too. Anyway, oh dear, yeah. Enough of all this down memory lane. Got to do something for lunch. Bye for now.